I've been having literally a pain in my neck, right?
Literally.
It's not Miguel. It's a pain, and it's been going on.
Maybe a little bit of both.
For some time, and a lot of people don't know this, but they're going to know. But I ended up in the emergency room
a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
And I've never been in the emergency room, and so it just I wasn't sure exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And they prescribed me. They said I was great. They took all these tests.
Gave you a bunch of medicine.
Yep.
That's when you got on the roids. The
and,
roid cycle.
No, I didn't, because I'm like, well, if everything is fine with me, they did the CAT scan, did everything. If everything's great, then why are you prescribing me prescriptions? Like, I'm not taking these drugs, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And so I made a doctor's appointment, and she said, that I should go ahead and take it because more than likely I have a pinched nerve, and that they were going to do more tests and this and this and that. And next thing you know it, I meet up with one of my clients, and they referred me to this doctor. That's what they called her, Dr. Avery, who does cupping and dry needling.
Yeah. I've heard of cupping. I've seen like athletes that have cupping done. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've seen like different ways that people do it. I don't know how they did it to you, but I've seen one where it's like a suction thing, like a little machine, and it sucks it.
Yes.
And then I've seen other ones where it's like a flame or something.
Yes, she does that too.
And
okay, first of all,
it sucks and kind of gives you a hickey.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, look at my hickey.
Your hickey on your neck.
My hickey. No. But I wasn't sure if that's something that I wanted to do, but then our niece talked about it. She said that her friend had a pinched nerve. She went and got some cupping done. She was the first one I heard it from.
Yeah.
And that her friend was all better, all good. And I'm like, well, where is this person located?
I think the first time I ever saw cupping was the last Summer Olympics. I think we were supposed to have the Summer Olympics this year. Mm-hmm. But because of the pandemic, everything got postponed. But probably 4 years ago in the Summer Olympics, I remember seeing athletes, like, I don't know if it was like the swimmers, like freaking dudes with the giant backs, and all of a sudden you see pop, 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 just like fucking a bunch of circles on there, like dark purple circles. Right. I'm like, what the hell is that? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, Nikki had brought it up, and then clients of mine, she said her person was at least 40 minutes from us. I'm like, I don't know if I want to drive that far. And then
so what was your
brought
experience?
Up again. And so it was amazing. I mean, the dry needling.
What is that?
It's where, I don't know, I can't even explain it. It's these little
do your best
tiny needles that they insert, and it's all, she was telling me.
Where did they put them?
Wherever she felt that I needed it, because I have the sciatica and the pinched nerve. So she put some up in my ear, near my temple, my shoulders, front, legs, yes. And all of a sudden I started to feel like this electric, like a light shock. It was weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I supposed to be feeling this?
All of a sudden you said it's electric, and my scatterbrained head is like, do 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 do.
That's how it.
Do 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 do. Like in my head, I'm like, it's electric.
And she started putting it. She's like, you feel that? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, you are very in tune with your body. I'm like, I am.
So like, did she do anything with the needles?
She put them in.
Well, besides putting them in, did she hook them up to a car battery or like anything?
I don't know. I was laying there. My eyes were closed.
You just let her do whatever.
I did, because I trusted her, because
I'm not saying
the client who referred me, he said she fixed my entire family.
But you didn't see what she actually did.
No,
she just stuck you with a bunch of needles. Do 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 do. She should play that song while you're getting fucking needling.
No,
done.
she had waves going on. Oh, like all I heard were waves crashing.
That's probably better than the electric slide. Probably a little bit better than listening to the electric slide. But let me
tell you, okay? Like she said, she was very knowledgeable. I mean, I should have recorded everything she was telling me, but she's like, yes, people need to be very careful when they go get this done. Because if they don't know what they're doing, it could jack somebody up.
Yeah.
And she was telling me, what I can eat, what I can't eat. But this is amazing. When she was doing it, okay, I laid there. How long did she leave him in? I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, maybe longer. And she left the room, and it was just me.
Yeah.
Laying in there, listening to waves crashing. my body got so heavy, like so relaxed. I mean, it felt amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And it felt good. She had me on this heated pad. And then when she came and removed the needles, she said, okay, I'm going to have you flip over and we're going to do the cupping. She's like, and because you're new, she's like, normally she does the fire,
the
you know, the
needling
ones
first?
with the glass. Yeah, the needling first. And then she did the cupping.
Uh-huh.
And she said that my left side is pretty jacked up.
Yeah.
She's like, and I'm like, how can you tell? She said the color, you know, your I don't know, what do you want to call them? Your hickeys are darker on your left-hand side or whatever. But at first it was uncomfortable because it's tight. It's like, you know, they pull your fat, like your fat goes into this cup.
Yeah.
But after she was done, I just felt great.
Yeah.
And the following morning, you seen, I woke up, I had energy. I actually put some makeup on, like I got dressed. I felt good. I felt energized.
And before that, you were barely moving around.
I was like a zombie.
You were like lethargic.
I was forcing myself
Yeah.
to get up and to go.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel good at all. I was not myself. And that was just with the first session. I'm going to see her again on Wednesday.
Yeah. Have you talked to her about like what is it that the cupping does? What does this needling, what does this stuff do?
It helps blood flow to the area.
Okay. So if that's where you have pain or discomfort or whatever, she'll put a cup on it and suck all the blood right to that area.
Mm-hmm. And you know what she said was good?
What?
And this is the truth. Like we've just been messing up. We've been eating very bad. Tons of sugar. We haven't been working out the way we work out. I have not been drinking as much water as I normally drink. And I do believe that just the stresses of life, like she told me, she's like, what have you been doing? Why are you so stressed? I'm like, I'm not. Like, I feel good, you know, meaning like there's nothing in my life that's different. We're not doing anything different. The business is booming and I work when I want to work. Like I told her, like life is good. She's like, yeah, but what? She's like, you say that. She said, she said that you take on people's energy and all this other. She's like, and the country right now is not doing well. She's like, we're in a pandemic. She started mentioning everything. And when she started mentioning everything, I started to feel overwhelmed. Yeah. She's like, and that's what's going on with you. That's where you're holding because you're an optimistic individual, she said.
Yeah.
And you're compressing your feelings.
Now, this is just so I haven't really looked into cupping, but just, you know, I've heard that some of the, like, it may not be, I don't know, maybe there's no studies behind it, or kind of like chiropractors. Like some
Chinese
people say
medicine.
that it works, some people say that it doesn't. I have no idea. But one thing, like I've been thinking about since you went to the cupping, and at first I'm like, this is fucking bullshit or whatever. But there is like the placebo effect.
Yep.
Right? And whether something like the chiropractor, if he fucking cracks your back and it actually doesn't do anything for you, but mentally your body can do something to repair itself because it thinks that you did something, then, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
You know, even if scientifically it doesn't do anything. But
and I'm open, you know that. Like
yeah,
I'm open.
I know you are.
During this, I was praying. I was in prayer. I was asking God to help heal.
This is what I'm thinking though, is that you went to this lady and she's asking you about, you know, how have you been eating, or are you stressed, or like right now, if you start drinking more water and changing the way you're eating and all this other stuff, and you go to the cupping thing and you start feeling better, it's like, well, the cupping really helped. And it's like, well, maybe eating better and drinking more water and working out a little bit started helping.
Well, you
more.
can't say that, because I wasn't doing that before I met her the first time.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is like, if you're like, well, it was the cupping that did it. And it's like, well, you also did start eating better. You started working out more. You started drinking more water. You started, you know, being more healthy. So it's kind of hard to tell which one was which.
So I went to...
So we should keep eating snacks and see if this cupping stuff really works.
Well, babe, I haven't changed anything. And it worked. You seen.
Yeah, no, you did
seen the
better.
difference.
Yeah.
You know, but I went to my doctor's 2 days after.
And your doctor asked you about the cupping too.
Yeah. And she got her number and she told me, she was talking to me about the placebo effect. And she's like, she's like, maybe it works for those people that are more open. And as a doctor, they teach us the total opposite, that stuff is just, that it's not.
Yeah.
But she was open and she's like, I would love her number. I would love to go see her.
Well, but at the same time, there's a lot of things that they don't teach doctors. Like they teach you here, write this prescription and give them this Percocet.
Right.
And
Look what they did to me the first when I went to the emergency room.
How about we try some other shit before I start taking drugs?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I didn't take the drugs the first time,
Yeah. But then they were like, you should probably take you should probably take the roids.
Right. But the muscle relaxers, I didn't take those. I didn't. I'm like, I think I took them twice and I didn't feel the difference at all. And I just decided not to take them.
Yeah.
But the doctor, when she was and then I took my vitamins because I take vitamins from Melaleuca and I took them in there for her to tell me whether they were good or bad or what. And she said, because they're not FDA approved, I can't tell you whether they're good or bad.
Like legally as a doctor?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
And so I said, well, FDA approved. I'm like, there's a lot of things that are FDA approved that are not good for you. She's like, I know.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that are not FDA approved that are good for you.
It's like, what the hell? Basically what the doctor said is just live a balanced life.